guys, so this is going to be my first movie review. I've been actually talking to a couple different people about doing some movie reviews and possibly TV show recap shows, or TV show recaps. I drank a little at the movie, so pardon me. But anyways, this is, of course I have the sound on. Goodness, alright. Anyways, so let's talk about Suicide Squad. I'm going to warn you now, you may hear spoilers. Oh, spoilers. Okay. I warned you. Spoilers. You might hear spoilers. Spoilers. You might hear spoilers. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk Suicide Squad. By the way, Suicide Squad shirt. Look at it, it's so colorful. Okay. I'm a little ADD right now. Alright, so Suicide Squad. So the story was pretty legit. I've read a couple of its, I've read the first couple of issues of the new 52 Suicide Squad comic book. And I kind of know a little bit of the background. So like they need a team of bad guys to kind of do these missions that perhaps they don't want the good guys to do, because they're basically suicide missions, and these guys are expendable. I mean, that's basically the gist. And then I totally called the bomb in the neck, because that was in, actually, I don't know if it was in the comic book, but it was definitely partially in Arrow, the TV show, or was it in the comic book? Now I'm getting confused. But yeah, so I'm going to talk over a bit of the plot and then some of the characters, and then at the very end, I'm going to do I'm going to give a rating. That sounds good. By the way, this segment is called Honorable Reviews. Okay? Yeah, so cool. Okay, so let's talk about the plot and the style overall. So the style of the movie was awesome, and it was different, and it was very colorful. I liked all the colors. I liked how it was original. So I think before I saw the movie, when I was buying my ticket on Fandango, I noticed that Rotten Tomatoes had given it like 28%, which is total BS. Okay, they probably just didn't understand the movie. Probably didn't know anything about Suicide Squad to begin with. I have nothing nice to say about the review. That being said, the style isn't something you've probably seen before. It's very different. Like I said, it's very colorful. It's a little like if I imagined I was on an acid trip, even though I've never been on an acid trip, it was kind of like that. Very kind of disorienting, but in a really cool, sort of different way. It's really hard to explain. But yeah, so the beginning kind of opened up with, them at the prison, and basically they just introduced all the characters that we're mostly familiar with from the actual Suicide Squad. So like, for example, Deadshot, by Will Smith, he was badass. Harley Quinn was just absolutely hilarious. She was probably one of my favorite characters from the movie. Boomerang, I love Jay Courtney. He was awesome in the newest Deadpool, in the newest Die Hard movie. So I was a big fan of him as Boomerang. He pulled off an Australian accent a lot better than I originally thought he would. Not that I doubted his abilities, it's just it was really cool to see him play kind of like a neurotic sort of character. We had Killer Croc, who I've never really heard of before, but he was pretty funny. It was really weird to hear him talk. Like 3/4 of the movie, he doesn't really say anything. He just kind of grumbles and makes faces, and then finally hear him talk for the first time, and I was kind of like, that was weird. It wasn't my favorite part. I think I would have been happier if Killer Croc just continued making noises and just making faces instead of actually talking. But anyways, so you had Killer Croc. Who am I missing? Katana is kind of a member. Suicide Squad, not really. She was awesome. I like how they kept with the whole, you couldn't not go with her actual story of her husband being killed by some dude with the sword, and the sword trapping her husband's soul, and then her using the sword and talking to it like she's talking to her husband. I thought that was always cool. They also did that in Arrow, the TV show, which I I did not think they would integrate nearly as much with both the TV show universe and then, of course, what we're expecting to see in the actual DC universe. So I thought it was really cool how they integrated a decent number of characters actually from Arrow. Obviously, they're not all the same actors, and I'll kind of get to that later. But it was good to kind of see characters that I'm familiar with from other kind of live action media. So that was cool. I'm trying to think of missing one. Slipknot. Spoiler alert, he dies really quickly. And his superpower is kind of lame. No, it's not really a superpower, but he's pretty lame. From the movie. I don't know much about Slipknot outside of the movie, but spoiler alert, he was boring. The captain, he was pretty cool. His love story with the Enchantress was it was interesting. I did not know much on the background of the Enchantress. I've just heard of her. I think I have a couple of her comics, like old school comics. But she was pretty killer. She was badass also. And then the effects that they had were just, all right, I'm getting ahead of myself, but Captain was cool. Yeah, okay, so they introduced the characters, they kind of introduced the background on how they actually got to the prison, all that good stuff. And then, of course, we need a team mode, which I'm getting a little tired of. Marvel, DC, Justice League, Avengers, now Suicide Squad, I mean. But it didn't hit me as forcefully like it did in the Justice League. What was it? The feature, the clip thing that they showed from Comic-Con. I'll put that in a whole nother review, possibly. Anyways, so you have Amanda Waller, who, again, kind of familiar with her background from Arrow. She was ruthless, and it was kind of cool to see a female character have not a whole lot of feelings. She's not a pansy. She did not take anybody's shit. If you messed with her, you were probably gonna get killed, and she was not gonna have any of it. So she was balling. So they have the team, kind of get. Lucas, can you come back in bed, please? Come here, puppy. Come here. Okay, puppy. Yes. So Amanda Waller gets his team together, and then of course the captain is in charge of them. Lucas, come back here. Go get in bed. Go get in bed. And then after they built this team, they realize some shit goes down with Enchantress going. I mean, she's a really bad guy, but she goes to the other bad guy, and she gets her brother back after getting her heart. And storyline's a little. It's not really that confusing, but I feel like I'm explaining it in a way that's confusing. So that happens. She wants to, of course, destroy the world, take over it with her army of weird-looking. They look like bubbling concrete. I don't even know how else to describe it. So they're in Midway City, and they're taking over the town and building this weapon, and then the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff is like, round them up, let's go. So then Amanda Waller calls in the captain to get Suicide Squad going, we got a mission, you're going to do it, or we're going to blow your head off. Cool. So they don't really know what the mission is, they go out, bunch of cool action shots. Oh, I forgot about Diablo, who wasn't my favorite character. I will be honest. He didn't seem all that cool to me until he had his, emotional breakdown, which I'm about to get to in a second. So anyway, so they get on the mission, they go out, dealing with the Enchantress, all this stuff, they have this plan, whatever. And then, of course, they're working with, I think, is Special Forces team by what it seemed like. And then just... I'm going to skip past all the action stuff. There's one moment where they're like, yeah, we're Suicide Squad's like, yeah, no, we're not going to go after that. That sounds cool. Thanks for all the help, but we're going to go to the bar and get a drink. And then everybody kind of has a moment, an emotional moment. That's where Diablo kind of gets more real for me. That's where I actually started to like him because for me, his acting, the actual actors acting seemed a little off. I don't really know how else to describe it, all the way up until that point. And then that kind of, definitely was really, really good for me, that part in itself. And then, Deadshot, Captain comes in, and they're like, we don't really want you here, and Captain's like, smashes the thing where he can blow their heads off, and he's like, you guys can go, I don't fucking care anymore. He's clearly tired of dealing with anybody's shit. He's kind of giving up hope, or maybe that was his leadership tactic. Anyways, and then, everybody kind of rallies around, and they're like, fuck, we're gonna go help him. And yeah, and then they have this other elaborate plan to take out the Enchantress's brother and the Enchantress herself. Eventually, they take both of them out and save the day. Woo! And Amanda Waller pops up again, and she's, after supposedly being dead, which, and Suicide Squad's like, or Deadshot's like, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be dead. That was pretty funny. And then she's got like her phone up. She's like, I could still kill any single one of you. And then they're all like, we just saved the world. Can you just leave us alone for 3 seconds? That'd be fantastic. Can you lay down, puppy? Can you please lay down? Please. Anyways. Now I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. World ending, we saved it, all that good stuff, and she like reduces their sentence and lets them have a couple different things. And then that kind of ends it. They have obviously kind of an outro, whatever. They also have an after credit scene, which we all knew was going to happen. And the after credit scene, and I called it as soon as I saw Amanda Waller sitting down with Bruce Wayne. I saw it coming. I literally said it to both of my friends that were sitting on either side of me. I was like, Justice League, Justice League, Justice League. And then of course, Bruce Wayne is like, he's asking for a favor. Amanda Waller pulls out this binder, and she's like, here you go. Here's what you want. And then she opens it up, and there's the Enchantress. There's like a page of the Enchantress. There's a picture of the dude who plays the Flash. Yeah. Or Ezra Miller, I think is his name. And then there's a picture under that for the dude who's playing Aquaman. So the dude who's Khal Drogo, I don't remember his name. I totally called off for the beginning. Also, Batman makes a couple appearances during the actual movie, like helping to actually capture some of the members of Suicide Squad and put them in prison. The Flash showed up during one scene to help capture, I think he was Diablo, if I can remember correctly. And just for everybody's reference, I'm not the biggest Justice League fan. I'm a Marvel fan. I am a fan of the Flash. He was actually always my favorite superhero when I was little. I'm a big fan of both the Arrow and Flash shows. Flash is probably one of my favorite shows right now on TV. So I'm very partial to Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash. I'm very partial to Stephen Amell, who plays Green Arrow or / Oliver Queen. And when I saw the clips for Justice League, I was very disappointed by the fact that they refused to use those same characters. If you want to hear my reasoning for that, I will be more than happy to tell you that in a different video. But I will admit it was very friggin' cool to see the Flash show up in Suicide Squad. Even though it was only for a couple seconds, you could tell it was Ezra Miller, and it worked. I was not expecting it to work. I was completely surprised when he showed up, but it was on point. I was very happy. So, overall, pros and cons of the movie. Pros. I thought the style was different. It was awesome and killer and just totally badass. It might not work for some people, but those people need to get over themselves, okay? The action was awesome. There's a lot of slow motion kind of scenes. I think maybe kind of verging on a little too much, but all the action was killer. Deadshot has this one scene where he's all just, all the special forces guy and all the Suicide Squad people are they gotta fight off these weird bubbling concrete people, and then Deadshot's like, fuck all you guys. He just, charges all of them and shoots them all down. He's still going and shooting everybody, and then everybody behind him is just stops shooting and just kind of watches him, and Deadshot finishes them off and turns around and he's like, good to go, and then just damn, basically. That was really cool. The characters themselves, Deadshot, obviously gonna be my favorite. Harley Quinn was pretty badass herself. Dude, Amanda Waller, just, like I said before, ruthless. So the characters themselves were pretty killer.